All right, we're back out here, starting a new project today. It's a half redeck and a half build an extension to the current deck. So you can see the current deck that's in place right now. It's pressure treated lumber, pressure treated railing. We're gonna replace it with new pressure treated lumber, pressure treated railing with black aluminum balusters. So it's a nice good sized deck now, but what the homeowner wants to do is connect this deck with this door right here. So Josh just popped off the old set of stairs so that we can start to mark our holes for our new beam that's going in to create the substructure for the deck extension. So if you're wondering why I'm kind of out of breath, we're just lugging all this stuff up a little hill, and I haven't worked in a while, so that's what we got. Parked 2 blocks away. So let's get at it. So the first thing we did here is we ran a string from this angled portion of the deck here. So you can see how it angles. And we're following this angle on our deck extension. You can see where we marked it with some paint, where it would come out. And then we measured square about 5 inches off this door, because that's about gonna be the width of our railing, to come out and meet at this corner. Then we measured off of here, off of this line here, about 16 inches back from both sides to mark 2 spots to pour our footers for our new beam. It's gonna run right across here and connect our joists in to the existing deck. So we got these deck boards ripped off here. You can see we're nice and clear. We took all our nails off. See, it's nice and flat. And we are assessing our situation. So our footers are poured. We want to give them another day to dry. We're partly doing that because we have enough to keep us busy, so where we don't have to drill into them today, and we can give them that extra day. I just cut this siding to match this other side here. I can cut it. I cut it all the way along the same height. I'm gonna rip it down so that we can put up our new ledger board, which will go from here to the other side of the door, a little bit past that other door. Once the ledger's up, we can put our beam on. We can lay a couple boards on here while we're letting these dry and get her done. So I took the siding off here. You can see we got our spot for our ledger. Now, right here, there used to be stairs, a new set of stairs, old set of stairs, and you can see a couple spots are actually rotted. If you listen, it gets soft, like right here, it's soft. Over here, it was just picking away, had some rot. I think it's gonna be okay, but this is why we want to make sure we use flashing up top. That's gonna keep the water off of this, the backer to the ledger here. So I took off, yeah, you can see I took off the sheathing, and the edge here is still kind of soft. So here we have it at the end of day 2. We gotta go dump our load. But basically, we got it all cleared. We put in our cat system for these middle 2 at least. Basically just prepped for tomorrow. We also put this other, this last rim joist in place here. Just so that it matches the rest of them. So took the old one down, set the new one in place. It's just tacked on either side. We need some different brackets that we have back at the shop tomorrow. So about to dump. I don't know what's going on. Josh is dumping a trailer over here. This guy's flooring it. This guy's about to floor it. This little vest. Wonder how he's doing out there. All right, so we're getting started today. I don't really know exactly what we're working on, so I'll video it so you can find out. every piece of lumber is a little bit different. And we had these two here that are just a little bit taller than the rest of the joist that we have in place. And it would have created a hump here as we go from these lower joists here to these higher ones. So what I did is I took the screws out that were holding this in place. I marked either side with a pencil and I moved the joist aside. And then I measured what the height difference was, and I basically notched it with my saw. Took my saw, set the depth, put probably 8 different runs in there, and I chipped it out with my hammer and chisel. And then when it goes back in, it sits down in place, it becomes nice and level. You see now, it's hitting there, it's hitting there, it's hitting here, it's hitting all the other ones as it goes along. That's what's up. That is what's up. So we're back out here. You can see the extension is framed out. We are ready to roll with finishing our picture framing, which we actually finished on this side here. You can see our nice method really well here. 2x6 cat with a 2x4 on top. Gives us a nice wide area to put our picture frame board and for the end boards to come in and catch. So we're gonna finish doing that on the rest of the deck. We're changing up a scope just a little bit of the project. Homeowner wants us to pour a concrete pad where the steps are gonna come out, so it lands evenly on this sloped hill here. So we're gonna end up doing that today as well. Makes a big difference having an easy workflow. Oh yeah. Currently just going through, finding nails that are sticking up and hammering them down. So really, I'm looking with my eyes and I'm sliding with my feet. So when I feel something or see something, I can just get it down. Just to make sure that, you know, most of the nails at least are out. Since we're doing pressure treated lumber on this deck, it's not the end of the world if there's a little tiny nail nub sticking out, because it'll just impress into the wood. But just want to make sure we get either pulled out or nailed in as many as we can, just to minimize issues as we're installing. 2 issues you run into when you're redecking versus building new. You got to reuse these joists here. So number 1, you have an old joist. Lumber could be anywhere from 10, 15, 20 years old. So it's not as strong as it used to be. And then the second issue is you got these nail holes up top that create more spaces for water to seep in and cause the substructure to just to wear and tear faster than the new decking on top. So we got this protective joist tape that we're gonna put on top of all the joists. It's gonna give it extra protection, extra life, and bring it up to the standard where it should be when the new decking is installed, so that it all will wear at about the same rate. So there's our first section of joist tape. Goes on nice. Let's see how the rest goes on. Starting on our pad, we built a frame in the grass. We placed it where we wanted it. We put it, calculated where the end of our stringers are gonna be, so that the stringers can sit on a concrete pad, and then we'll have a nice landing at the bottom of the stairs. Because it's on a hill, we spray painted this left side here, and we're gonna dig it out to make it more level, so that this side of the pad is gonna be pretty much level with the grade of the yard, and then this side will be up to however high it takes for it to get level. So let's dig it. We're concrete guys now. Got our pad built out, 6x6 framing, went double depth on certain portions because it was taller. Got some 3/4 inch clean stone to fill in the side here. And now we're mixing our concrete and dumping her in here. It was a little dry, so we'll just make it a little bit wetter. Josh is dumping the bags in and we're getting her done. So we're back out here. It's a Monday. We got all of our joist tape on the joists, and we got our first couple boards on. Putting in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 board right now. Our pad is poured. You can see, turned out pretty nicely. Looking like a deck, if I'm being honest with you. Got this new method. We screwed this board, the end board, tacked to the wall. We tacked this side in over here nice and tight. And then we get our digging bar, we put it into our frame, and then we kind of squeeze them together where they just start to compress nice and tight. Boom. Now they're nice and tight. Ready to just start sending screws. Cleaned up, nice and tight. Expecting some snow tomorrow, so today nice and tight. Expecting some snow tomorrow, so just want to make sure that there is no confusion as to where things are when we get back on Wednesday. So here it is. Here's all our lumber that's left. We're gonna need a little bit more. There's our trash pile right under there. It's coming out. Here we are, halfway through clearing off our precious deck space. Got our tool set up here on the deck. Keep us working efficiently. Gotta tack our rim joist on first and foremost, and then we'll continue with our boards. Nice clean notch. I know, I have to. Here's our notches for our rim joist board. Sorry, our perimeter board. And hold on, Josh. Do you want me to chop this end off a little bit? So we're in the middle of cutting for our middle divider boards to make sure that there's no end grains of boards sticking next to each other. Less of a tripping hazard, and it's a lot nicer aesthetically. So all we do for this is right where our boards butt up, we take the divider board, we lay it in place right where we want it to be, we trace with a pencil on both sides, and then we go along with our skill saw here, like Josh is doing, and we just cut on the line so that the divider board, when it's done, will fit right in the groove. See how she fits. You could come more, but that's pretty dang good. Final product.
The other one. Turned out really nice.
This one's trimmed over here. Nice. So we decided to go ahead and route the edges of these cut boards here so when it meets up with the edge board, with the perimeter board, it looks nice and clean. All right, so it's been too cold the last couple of days to video much. So really just yesterday. But just wanted to show you some progress and show you how we're cutting our railings. So the railing sections, the way they go in, you cut the 2x4s to size, you mark out on center of each of the top and bottom rails, and then, I don't know if you can see my pencil marks up there, where you mark every 4.5 inches. You attach your baluster connectors, and then you put your balusters in there. Then we have these clips on the end that screw in to the end of the rails, and then the rails themselves, the rail brackets, screw into the post to secure it in there. On this deck, we have a couple angles that aren't really accounted for in the bracket kits. So what we're doing is we're notching the post here so that our bracket can fit in and have something secure to attach to. So what I do is I set a 2x4, doesn't have to be the length, about centered on the post, and then I run it straight into the corner of the angled post. I put my bracket on the edge, just like this, and then I'm gonna take my pencil here, and I'm gonna draw a line right here. Then I'll measure the height of my bracket, cut out the depth down, flat on that line so that I have a flat surface. Let me show you what it looks like when it's all finished. All right, here's one we already did. It's on your stringer. Here's one we already did. It is notched, nice and flat, so the bracket has something secure to go to. But as you back up, it's just as seamless with the rest of the deck. So the only thing we've left to do has to do with the stairs. So we need to do the stair railings, which are taking a little longer than expected because not only are they angled because they flare out, but these posts, we wanted to exaggerate the flare, so we twisted these posts so there's double angles on these posts here. And then we have a little bit of resurfacing we want to do on this concrete, and we want to bring in some dirt to make sure the pad is nice and level on this side as well as on this side, the correct height. So as far as the deck surface itself, it's pretty much there, and it is pretty close to mint. Really happy with how everything turned out.
The way we routed it, you can see, looks nice and finished.
We also ended up routing the inside edge of the top drink rail. The railing here as well. It's nice and smooth, top and bottom. So once the stairs are done, this is going to be a beautiful pressure treated deck. Right, Josh? Back out here on the final day. Here's all we have to do today. Better be.
So these brackets that we used for our straight rails up here, that we screw into the rails and then we attach our balusters to, were not working out nicely on the stair railings. They were gapping, so you can see like between these two, let's see if you can see, that there's a slight difference in the gapping. And on the stair railing, it was just pretty bad.
So we're changing our method. We're drilling holes with a paddle bit through the top and bottom rails. That way they're gonna be nice and clean. It gives us more wiggle room as we're installing them. We finished our railing. We got our baluster holes drilled. It turned out really clean for us. And then we put the top boards on
Basically just held them there, traced both this angle here and this angle here, cut them down to size, and worked out nice. And then we laid 20 bags of this topsoil, 40-pound bags of topsoil here, and that nicely leveled off. So it's nice and even all the way down. It'll settle a bit, and then it should be easy to mow over. So the deck